What's up, everybody? It's Conger Live. We're back again with another TMNT Mutant Madness video. Thanks so much for joining me today. We're going to look at a few things that are coming up. As you saw in yesterday's video, or if you saw, we got the Double Gems event still happening right now. And we get an early look at the upcoming power mutation. We got 50% power boost in Dimension Clash to these heroes. We will reveal those in just a second. Of course, this is available on the Discord. And then we have a new giveaway, but instead of the giveaways being done in Discord this time, we have giveaways happening in Facebook and Twitter. And we'll go look at that at the end of the video. But first, let's take a look at these Dimension Boost Power Explosionaires. The first toon hero to have a 50% power boost in Dimension Clash this coming week is Super Irma. Let's go take a look at Super Irma's kit. And so my Super Irma is only 3-star because I just haven't gotten lucky to pull her. So I don't know if I'm going to use her, although 3 stars on Mutation have still been very useful at level 200. So, you know, she's got a nice amount of damage out of her Magnetize, just really strong energy damage there. Inflicts Disarm, which stops anybody who gets hit from doing any basic attacks. That really helps out. And extra damage and disarm for 2 extra seconds to targets that are above 10 armor. And there's quite a bit of armor give out there. So she might be very useful in this coming week. She also gets to target all enemies in a line at range 5, deal more energy damage, and inflict disarm again. Wow. And inflicts negative 50 strength for 6 seconds to targets above 50 strength, and does the same for focus. So if there's any really high strength toons out there, toons that get bonus strength, she's going to mitigate some of that. So pretty nice there. Her first passive skill is Repelling Force. When attacking, deal extra damage per other hero at range 1 of the target. So if it's other hero, whether it's friendly or a foe, her basic attack is going to do extra damage. And then inflicts negative 30 haste to enemies at range 2 if not stunned or silenced. Gain 30 haste per enemy at range 2 if not stunned or silenced. So as long as she's not stunned or silenced, she's going to reduce the attack speed of the enemy and increase her own. So pretty cool as long as they're at range 2. And I'm pretty sure when it says at range 2, it also means range 1, so 1 or 2. And then Metal Manipulation, her other passives, gain armor per other hero at range 2, gain 15 extra armor per other hero at or above 10 armor at range 2. So because it just says hero, I'm pretty sure that means friendly and foe once again, right? Because it'll say ally if it's friendly or enemy if it's foe. So hero means any of them. And then she's going to inflict haste and will to all enemies per armor they have. So the more armor they have, the more haste and will she's going to take away from them. And then also gives her all those other bonuses. So she doesn't mind having the enemy having high armor, especially because she's doing energy damage. So barrier is what actually prevents her damage. So she's really an anti physical damage person, right? So if you're trying to prevent physical damage, Irma's going to come in there with her energy damage and really shred things up. And then she targets all enemies at range 3, inflict negative 40 strength and negative 60 focus for 7 seconds, gaining 10 focus per hero at range 3 for 7 seconds. So range 3 means 3, 2, or 1. So for 7 seconds, she gets that bonus focus, just gives her more energy damage. And then she also gains defense per hero at range 3 if you have her at 4-star and at 250, or of course 5-star and 250. 3 stars won't get her there, so I won't get that defense on her anti-polarity field if I take her to 200 and use her this week. So that's the first toon that's on Mutation. Let me know, what do you think about Super Irma in the comments down below. Will you be adding her to your team in PvP this week? And the second toon is Tempestra. Alright, so Tempestra is one of my early 4-star pulls. If you saw some of my older videos, if you've been with me for a while, I got her up to 175. So yeah, I'll probably take her to 200 and play with her at least for a day or two and see how well she is. She hasn't really been high on the tier list, and even though they completed her kit with the skill that was missing a long time ago, I just don't know how impressive she is. Let's take a look. So she targets all enemies with range 1 of 3 tiles at range 1 of that tile. Deal energy damage over 3 hits and deal energy damage per focus. Inflict negative 20 will and 8 for 8 seconds to each target hit under 0 alertness. So since alertness was nerfed, maybe she's going to be more effective. I didn't really notice that from before. Maybe, but it looks like a decent amount of energy damage. We'll have to compare that with Super Irma after I can level her up as well, although the star bonus will have a difference there. And also equipment matters for that damage output. Her first auto skill is Wind Blast. Target all enemies in a line at range 5 and do some energy damage and inflict negative 50 haste and slow for 4 seconds. So not bad. They're not going to walk too quickly if they have to change their position. They're going to be slowed down and they're going to do less attack speed. So not bad there. Chain Lightning. Whenever attacking, target a second enemy at range 1 of the target and deal some extra energy damage and inflict negative 20 haste for 2 seconds to targets above 10 armor. So much like Super Irma, if they have high armor, she's going to be able to detriment them in some way, shape, or form. And then target a third enemy at range 1 if of the second and deal energy damage, a little bit less. Inflict stun for 0.1 seconds to targets under negative 40 barrier. So this is kind of interesting. It's only a 0.1 second stun, which is so short. But if stun does more of an interrupt, that'd be interesting to see how that works, especially because it's on a basic attack. So they could be stunned really quickly quite often. So I'll be excited to have that skill unlocked. Negative 20 barrier to all enemies under 0 haste, and I won't get her to 225. I could, but inflict negative 20 barrier to all stunned rooted, so an extra negative 20 barrier. Barrier is how you prevent the special damage, the energy damage. So being that she can kind of shred the barrier to make sure that her damage gets in, but she's also going to be able to help out her other, if you're pairing her with Irma, help Irma do more damage as well. And finally, she targets the closest enemy at range 3, deals energy damage, inflict negative 70 alertness for 4 seconds, and stun for 1 second. So she's actually going to stun, pretty cool. It's only 1 second. 1 second doesn't last long in this game, but the negative 70 alertness is really, really, really big. It's only going to target the closest enemy. So hopefully it targets someone that's really going to, that needs that alertness, take away that defense. I could see this possibly working, and then the 250 skill, which I won't have, is to deal extra damage and inflict an extra second of stun per range less than 3 the target is at. Okay, so this is what makes her stun actually doable. It looks like less than 3 the target is at. So I'm not sure if it works to where the further away they are, the longer they're stunned, or if the closer they are, the longer they're stunned. But regardless, that's pretty sweet. So if anybody gets her to 250, way to go. I definitely will not be spending my ooze on Tempest to take her to 250. And the last toon that is also on Mutation this week is Baxter. So it looks like we got the ranged blasters. We got the blasters coming up in here. So with Baxter, I actually have him at 176. The only reason he's not at 175 is I was testing, I was trying to find out ooze amounts a long while back. So I'll take him to 200 because he's 4-star. We'll go ahead and play with him a little bit. You know, he's got his energy coil, which does damage and damage over time and takes away strength. It disarms, it roots for 4 seconds. And when root used to be like a stun, this was great. So 4 seconds root, it's just okay. But when this used to be a stun, that was really awesome. It says, oh, deal actually, and inflict stun for 4 seconds to targets under 20 barrier. Okay, so it does turn into a stun if they're less than 20 barrier. Right, so I want to take that barrier down. It looked like Tempest does reduce that barrier, so maybe these blaster toons all working together might do a lot of damage, especially on Mutation. We'll see. Target a towel at range 4 and all enemies within 1 range of it, and inflict a bunch of damage over 6 seconds and negative 20 strength for 6 seconds. Okay, so damage over time, again, more of that, some reducing the strength, so less damage output, arguably, from the opponents. And then extra damage over 6 seconds and negative 20 extra strength to stun, rooted, or slowed targets. Okay, so Tempest does some slowing, so that means he's going to do extra strength reduction for them there. Also, he has a chance of rooting. He does rooting and slowing and stunning himself. Pretty cool. Pretty cool flies from him there. His first passive, field research. Gain 20 alertness if not stunned. After an enemy uses a skill, gain defense and 1 focus for 10 seconds if alertness is at or above 10. So he's able to gain his own alertness, keeping effectively keeping this above 10 without other modifiers. So he's constantly getting a focus for 10 seconds on basic attacks. So I'm not sure how many basic attacks he gets in 1 second, but effectively he could get at least plus 10, maybe plus 20 focus, especially if someone gives him some haste or something like that, so he gets this off more often. Kind of cool, and that kind of keeps him alive with that defense there. And he gains extra defense and extra focus for 10 seconds if the user is above 20 focus or will. So pretty interesting kind of text there. You don't really have too much control over that, just depending on. So if they have focus and will boosts, then you're going to get a little more of that bonus for yourself to hopefully do more damage. Lord of the Flies, affect negative 20 alertness and strength to all enemies taking damage over time. Okay, so that's nice, but this is going to basically take itself away because I think he gives himself alertness. Where was it? Somewhere else. Here, plus 20, minus 20. So Baxter versus Baxter, it's like flattens it out, no big deal. But you can also at 225 inflict negative 50 haste to all enemies taking over damage over time, which might help out a little bit. Might be a difference. So those are the 3 toons we have. We have Baxter, Tempestra, and Super Irma. Since Baxter and Tempestra are already 4-star, I'll take them to 200 and start using them. I might even throw Super Irma in there because I think that their kits, even though they all don't have a lot of survivability, they are stacking tons of energy damage on top of each other and kind of working together in that sense. So if you want to try and use all 3, I don't know if there's a specific toon out there that has a really high, a tanky or brawler type toon that has a really high barrier, but someone like that would probably be useful to kind of resist going up against those kind of guys. You could take a look at some of the options, maybe Metalhead, maybe Donatello. Shredder has this armor and the strength thing, so he might actually get just blown right up against these 3. Oh no, we'll see. We'll see what happens next week. What do you think? Are you going to use any of these 3 toons? Leave a comment down below. Which toons do you think you're going to use? Super Irma, Tempestra, or Baxter? Next week in PvP. And finally, we have the giveaway in Facebook and Twitter. So if we click on the Facebook link, it will take us to their Facebook. So you have to actually scroll down. It's here. It is other posts. TMNT Mutant Madness community giveaway. What's the highest score you've completed in Channel 6 Rush? Comment your answer and include your player ID for the chance to win 2,000 gems. It's basically the same thing on Twitter. You can take the Twitter link. Now, the one thing that I'm not sure, because these are 2 different social media platforms, are they 2 separate drawings, or they say taking 5 from Twitter and 5 from Facebook? I don't know. But I did the same thing. I liked, I commented, the same thing on both of these. Hopefully that means I'm in 2 chances for 2 different drawings. I don't know. But there you go. Have it. If you got a Twitter, if you got a Facebook, jump in there and comment and get a chance for 2,000 gems. That's everything for today's video, everyone. We are still working on that tier list. We'll be having that coming out just after the 1st of the month. Thank you for your patience for that. Thank you for your feedback. Let me know which toons you think might need to be moved from last season's tier list in the comments down below. Ninja, kick that like button if you haven't already. Don't forget to subscribe for more TMNT Mutant Madness content. Let's game smarter, guys. See ya in the next video.
Power!